Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our much honored guest. I'm Lisa Burnside with Burnside Dynamics in Forest Lake, Minnesota in the summer and Rio Verde, Arizona in the winter time. I am a professional speaker, and one of the things that I do speak to people on is how to take the terror out of your technology. Obviously, I think when people think of speakers and presentations, one of the first things that comes to mind is, ugh, PowerPoint. People don't use it appropriately. Some people shouldn't use it at all. I'm going to give you 3 things that you need to think about in dealing with PowerPoint and the fact of should you use it or shouldn't you. The first being the venue. Where are you going to speak? The second is the content of your PowerPoint presentation. What should you have in it? What shouldn't you have in it? And then the third piece is consider your audience. So let's begin with number 1, the venue. If you are speaking in a boardroom, B-O-R-E-D, or board, B-O-A-R-D, either way, could be very, very dull. We could lull our people to sleep if we are not dynamic and open with our presentations. But in a small boardroom, we can generally control the lights, we can control how much people can see, and when we are doing a PowerPoint presentation, we have a screen right there, we can get quite a bit of detail on that screen. When we also are in a small area such as this, we can control the laptop and have it at our disposal. So in doing that, and we're in that sort of a venue where we have a lot of control, you can take a lot of liberty with your PowerPoint presentation. Now, switching gears. We're in a huge venue. You're in an auditorium. Your laptop may be with some tech person 300 yards away. You may have thousands of people in this auditorium, and you may or may not have your presentation hooked up to sound. That's going to make a big difference. And if you have a lot of detail on your screen, who's going to be able to see it? Now, another venue that you could have is, let's say you are at a trade show, and you have a little kiosk. In your kiosk, you can do even more things with your PowerPoint presentation. And if you only have about a 10-minute speech, dump the PowerPoint. It's just not worth all the technical hassles. But if you're going to speak longer than that, and most keynotes are 10, 20, maybe 30 minutes long, most PowerPoints aren't going to be effective. So let's talk about content. What do we put in this PowerPoint thing? Key number 1, no matter where you are, your background and your words have to look different. Okay? Dark background, light print. Light background, dark print. Got it? Does that make sense? Think about this. When you're driving down the street and you're seeing the street signs right next to you and they're a white background with black print, generally like a speed limit sign, well, you're getting that as you're just going right by there. You're close by. But then again, in the distance, if you're looking at some of the signs, they generally have a dark background with light print because you can see that further back. So putting that in the context of the venue, if we are in a boardroom, small area, well, the close area, light background, dark print, works okay. But in a very large venue, a dark background with light print works so much better. Bullet points should be short. Don't bullet point. Bullet points are horrible. If you need to bullet point, give people a handout. Your PowerPoint presentation should strictly enhance your presentation. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, show us the picture. Or speak the 1,000 words. Do not use your PowerPoint as a teleprompter. I don't really care how cute your backside happens to be. If you really do need a teleprompter, have your laptop right in front of you and truly use it as a teleprompter. The third piece is consider your audience. How old is your audience? How young is your audience? There are many professional speakers that get booked for a variety of different events. Who's going to be there? Well, if you don't know, ask. Many speakers have a pre-programmed questionnaire that they send ahead and ask all kinds of questions. Percentage, men versus women. Are we going to have 10 people? Are we going to have 10,000 people? What are the ages? What are their backgrounds? What are some of the words to stay away from? What are some of the words we should use? Who are some of the people like Mr. Dave Basham that we can pick on without getting into trouble? We can pull that stuff into our presentation. But keep in mind when you are using PowerPoint, who's going to be able to see it? The smaller the print, the more words, the less people that will see it. It only should be there to enhance what you have to say. So utilize pictures. Skew the pictures a little bit. Make it a little bit more interesting. If you must put up words, put up just a few words. If you need to bullet point with your voice. Bullet point with your gestures. Bullet point with a handout. So in utilizing PowerPoint, you're making the decision to use it or not to use it. Consider the venue. Is anybody going to be able to see it anyhow? Can I control all the facets of my presentation? Consider the content. What are you going to put into your presentation? And then the third piece, of course, is always consider the audience. What's appropriate to them and what's not appropriate? What can they see? What can't they see? What will they understand? What won't they understand? Keeping some of these key items in mind will help you to have a successful PowerPoint presentation. And sometimes that means don't do one.